Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Alright, first and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, of course. Once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Alright, who deserve double honors. Also, salutations go out to the fellow Akim out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth in all honesty and sincerity. Alright, trying to wake up the remaining, hopefully elect. This is now I'm out to DC camp. And, oh, here we go. This is from Fox News, and, white fragility, all right, as the headline says. Here we go, all the misery that these pieces of shit, these so-called white people, these Edomites, the descendants of Jacob's brother, Esau, all the misery and death and robbery they've caused throughout the earth. And they're emotionally fragile. This is what's behind CRT, so-called critical race theory. They can't handle the truth. You know that line from A Few Good Men with Jack Nicholson. All right. You can't handle the truth, and they can't. All right. Anyway, so it says white fragility. Author warns people of color to get away from white people. Didn't we just have some asshole come out last week talking about just get away from black people? Well, why do you think our people are like that? Not giving Jake an excuse. Jake needs no excuse to be wicked, as scripture. But Jeremiah 5:26, among my people are found wicked men. That's a given, but they are not the wicked, which you Edomites are. So don't get it twisted. All right, yeah, but you got to admit, and even if you don't, the fact remains that you had a large hand, all right, in shaping what has become Jake in these days, all right? Anyway, it goes on to say, one white liberal author's unusual advice to combat racism is raising eyebrows on Twitter. And she has a point, as you will see, but again, let's just keep reading. I don't want to spoil it. It says, Robin DiAngelo, author of the New York Times bestseller White Fragility, suggested part of racial justice and progress meant going back to racial segregation. People of color need to get away from so-called white people and have some community with each other. Exactly. But what do you think's preventing that? See, something that I brought up at camp over the weekend, this past weekend, was something called, and we're going to get it real quick, and this is, you so-called white people, this is what you did. All right, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let's see. Here it is. It's called colonial mentality. All right, let's just go over it. I'm just going to read. All right, it says, is the internalized, this is what you people did. All right, is the internalized attitude, and you knew what you were doing. It's not by accident. It's the internalized attitude of ethnic or cultural inferiority felt by people as a result of colonization. For example, them being colonized by another group. It corresponds with a belief that the cultural values of the colonizer are inherently superior to one's own. So you stripped away what people knew beforehand, and you let it be known that it's in your best interest, all right, to adopt our ways, our views, and that you are the inferior. All right, and that's what you've done since the time of Columbus. All right, not only did you use our own book, the Holy Scriptures, against us, all right, and put your pale, leprous, red images in our book to say that you are the chosen and that you are superior. See, you did this. All right, so over 500 and some 30 years now. Guess what? This is both northern and southern kingdom. All right. And then you have the nerve to turn around and say, well, what's wrong with these people? How come they can't get it together? It's making mockery. That's what you've done. And you have to pay for that. And you will pay. All right, continuing on, it says the term has been used by post-colonial scholars to discuss the transgenerational, and that's the important, this is why I distinguish between this and Stockholm Syndrome, because this has been going on generation to generation. See, it's a spiritual thing. And there's a scripture that says, a wounded spirit who can bear. All right, this is what you've done. You've taken everything away from us. You've broken us down to the base. All right. And gave us your bullshit. Gave us idols to worship. So this is you. All right. And now when the truth comes out, you now you're fragile. You don't want to hear it, but it doesn't matter because we're going to come out anyway because we have to do these things. Habakkuk 2nd chapter. All right. Ezekiel 3rd chapter. All right. We're doing what we were, all right, commissioned to do. All right. This is part of that Great Commission. All right. This is what we're doing. We're spreading the gospel, the good news to our people, letting them know who we truly are. See? And you can't handle it. That's your problem. But you're still going to hear it. All right. So, anyway, transgenerational. So this, like, again, and we as a people have never had the opportunity to heal. So all this bullshit about get over it, won't you tell them fake ass Jews over there that spun, let's just give it the respect it deserves, that lied about what happened to them and made the world pity them. All right. They got filthy rich off of that lie. And it goes on before so-called, they needed that to solidify, all right, and to draw attention away from the people who are the real Israelites. So now that's part of that Psalms 83rd chapter. So now anytime you think of, the Jews, which by the way, just represents one tribe of the 12 tribes. So where are the other 11? So and this is the work of the Most High overall. All right, let's get that clear. All right, because things, prophecy must be fulfilled. Things have to happen. All right, and the Most High is bound by His word, i.e., prophecy. All right, and you think about what you know now, and you're like, how did they not see this? Well, some did. Some were in on it. Not some. A lot of people were in on it. Remember, every other nation is our enemy. It was not in their best interest. All right. But there's another scripture that talks about, they got to pay for that because they forwarded the affliction. All right. Anyway, it goes on to say, the term has, been used by post-colonial scholars to discuss the transgenerational. I just explained that. All right. So this has been going on generation. All right. And we know through some word a lot of people don't understand is, this New Testament is called regeneration. All right. But reincarnation. All right. So it is commonly used as an operational concept for framing ideological domination. What did I just say? They beat everything out of us and put their bullshit in us. All right. It is commonly used as an operational concept for framing ideological domination in historical colonial experiences. In psychology, colonial mentality has been used to explain instances of collective depression. Look at our people, all strung out. And again, this was something that was done. Look at the neighborhoods, all nothing but trash everywhere. It's a certain spirit that goes with that. And they know this. That's why they allow it to continue until after the property value has been brought down to the point where, your enemy comes in and buys it all up, raises the prices so we can't live there. That's gentrification. And it's that same old thing that goes around. So you were never meant to succeed. There's this little book that came out Well, it's been out, but I just got it beginning of the year around about, and it's called How White Folks Got So Rich. And they tell you, line by line, how they fucked us over. And it was intentional. So you got these uh, jakes, that gonna push this bullshit. You just have to work harder and all this shit. No. They will allow certain ones to slip through who get down with them or who are willing to do what they want them to do. All right. And in doing so, a lot of people will look at them as idols, as someone to follow. And then that's more people on their side. So they play this psychological game. All right. But, more and more people are seeing this. Others outside of our community have seen it all along. But again, it's not in their best interest to say, hold on, what are you doing to these people is wrong. Again, Psalms 83rd chapter. All right. It's all kind of other chapters, because we could say Isaiah 30 and 31. We could say, hey, just read Book of Lamentations in and of itself. These people are not our friends. And yet, we go, to them for help. What do you expect? All right. Anyway, that's enough of that. So let's go ahead and play this video. And let me say this before he gets started, because this goes to, I'm here in Washington, D.C., and the late Dr. Frances Welsing, who was from here, she put it straightforward. It's the fear of genetic annihilation. And that's what he's going into here. Mm-hmm. All right. Short and sweet. What did the the uh, so-called black unconscious or black conscious community, the Kemet people, what do they say? Fear of a black planet, right? Okay. Well, nobody's black, but the understanding is there. Like I said, fear of genetic annihilation. All right. Anyway, it says, yeah, we've already read that. In the conference, Salakia, more earthquakes. In the conference, D'Angelo also complained about whites being uncomfortable with anti-racist initiatives and argued more radical change was needed in the workplace. She suggested it should be a basic qualification for any employee to engage in conversations about racism. All right, let's see what else is said here. Yeah, okay. Like I said, that's all fine and good to say, but all our people are not on one page, so that really is not going to work now. And then they got a panel of what? Women here. All right. But, kudos for her to bringing this out, her and some others. All right. But this was meant to be the solution to all this is these devils going into captivity because it's this system. It's this beast system overall. How long are you going to keep calling about, I'm sorry, going to keep bringing up shit like, well, we need more diversity training. No, this is inherent in all of them. All right, it's that hatred thing, and this goes way back. All right, between Jacob, all right, and his brother Esau, and the descendants of both. All right, like I say, this is spiritual warfare. That's basically it. All this other stuff is just, if you care to read it yourself, well, the rest of it is just, we've covered the core of it, what it's actually about. And like I say, this is just posturing. They know deep down. All right, it's just going to have to come to a head, and it's getting to that point because you keep talking about equality and all this shit, and that's the thing that helped derail what little progress we had doing that so-called civil rights. It never made any sense to me for the people who chose to go to university or whatever. Number one, you're going to schools that are set up and run by your enemy. And for some reason, there was this saying, go to school, get you an education so you can get yourself a good job. It never made any sense to me. Why go through all that? Why not go big? Establish your own business. A lot of our businesses that we had, what did they do? They destroyed them, which let you know that's what they didn't want you to do. Now, as far as a job, you're at the mercy of someone that hates you. All right? The gatekeepers. Why not businesses? Hire from within your community like everybody else does but us. Wow. Go figure. This has all been a trap. All right? And the only way out is for all this whole system, this beast system, to be destroyed. And it will. All right? But in the meantime, you got to get your mind right. All right? Because 2 Peter 3 and 10. All right? Let's go there. All right? All right. 3. All right. It says, of new heaven and earth. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Now, what could cause that? I don't know. Maybe nuclear weapons. All right. It says, seeing then that, anyway, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? All right. And of course, why would you stay here? Why would you want to stay here knowing all this? And that's the point. All right. You need to focus on heavenly things. All right. Matthew 6 chapter, these things that are stored, all right, stored up in heaven where thieves can't. Let's get that real quick. Let me get another one here. I want to keep that. All right. All right. It says, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through or steal. Because, hey, if you didn't know it or not, this present monetary system, this is what this is all about. This is what this turmoil is about. All right, it's being done away with. It's purposely being crashed so they can bring in this CBDC, this central bank digital currency. And all you people out there that thought Bitcoin was the way to go, oh boy, 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. All right. Going back to an earlier point, this is where our people, they want to stay here because they got that little, what they think, a little piece of the pie. All right. Not realizing all this shit is going to be burned up. All right. So, yeah. Going back to 2 Peter. All right, seeing verse 11, saying then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High. Real quick, let's go to, again, going to that mindset that you should be in. All right, let's go to Isaiah 51. Hold on. Here it is, 14. The captive exile, which we are, all right, we are captors. We are prisoners. We are prisoners of war. We have been at war ever since the first of us left the shores of actually, we left out of Israel. But, since we brought over here on this side, all right, we've been at war. All right. The captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed. We want to be free. We want to get the fuck up out of here. All right. And that he should not die in the pit. This is a pit. This system, another word for it is pit. All right. Nor that his bread should fail. All right. So you should be wanting to get the fuck up out of here. All right. It says, nevertheless, this is the point. This is what we strive to look for. All right. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. All right. So there you have it. This place got to go. All right. I'll post this, a link to this, in the description box. All right. But, hey, it's only going to get worse from here on in. All right. For here on out, brother. This thing today with, they're still waiting to see if an indictment is going to come down. That's going to be my next video, because that's one big for Donald Trump, which is just one big old trap. They're going to get the fools that didn't get January 6th, the last go round. All right. So, hey, that's all I got to say on this. So, it's these times you're in now. Continue to pray. All right. Pray for your brethren all across this earth on four corners, out there on the highways and byways with you, the apostles, elders, bishops. All right. Hey, so until the next video, hey, shalom.